recording right now.
Welcome to the Hooksett Library and our first ever in this building candidate forum. We have all of the candidates that are on the ballot, whether they're opposed or not opposed, and I'd like to introduce them. My name is Mary Farwell. I'm chair of the Library Trustees. Philip Fittneves in District 1, Todd Lazat in District 1, Nancy Van Scoy running unopposed in District 2, Bob Ehlers and Jim Levesque in District 3, Mike Downer running unopposed in District 5, Nancy Kamai in District 6, and at large, Michael Piscatola and Jim Sullivan. Our moderator for the evening is Don Riley, esteemed citizen of, former Citizen of the Year and school board member, and I'm going to turn it over to him.
Thank you, Mary. I'd like to thank the library trustees and staff for providing the facility tonight and setting up. I think it's going to work well, and I'm excited to get going. But first, I'd like you all to stand and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. I'm going to take about 5 minutes and cover some general ideas about this evening. I don't think one has ever been held in Hooksett, so there's not much precedent to work with. The objective for tonight is multifold. It is not a debate. Very clearly, it is not a debate. It is supposed to maximize the candidate discussion, maximize the number of prepared questions and citizens' questions that we have. We have about 16 or 18 prepared questions. There are slips over there available so that you can write questions. And if we run out of questions, I'll open it up to the audience. Or if I see a burning desire by somebody wishing to speak, I'll certainly recognize that individual. Most importantly, it's a 2-hour session or forum where we can get to know the candidates and we can walk out of here an informed constituency. The plan is pretty simple. The very first question that they're each going to respond to gives them an opportunity to talk about themselves, tell us who they are. It is a timed question. They get 1 minute. And I'm going to be pretty strict about that because there are 9 people here, and if you multiply 9 times 2 minutes times 16 or 18 questions, you can do the math. We'll run out of time. I will then ask 2 additional general questions. Each of those questions will receive a response from all the candidates, and those responses will be timed no more than 2 minutes. I'll then ask 3 specific questions. Difference between a general question and a specific question. General question gets more at thought process. Specific questions deal with specific issues. Once we've reached that point, I'll ask additional questions as submitted. If none have been submitted and nobody's raising their hand, then I'll alternate general question, specific question until we've exhausted the questions. Each of the answers will be timed. That's why I brought the clock, which gets me out of bed every morning. That's one of 3 that get me out of bed. Running rules. Since this is not a debate, I will step in when I sense that there's a back and forth dialogue, either between candidates or between candidates and somebody from the audience. The focus will be on questions and issues, not on personalities or personal disagreements. When I see that start to happen, I'll step in at that point. I want to keep it casual, I want to keep it informative, and I want everybody to have fun, and let's get to know the candidates. So without you listening to me any further, by the way, can everybody hear me?
Oh, yeah.
We do have a mic for the candidates to use.
I just turned it off.
Leave it off.
But seriously, for those of you in the back, please raise your hand if you can't hear, because it defeats the purpose if you can't hear what the candidates are saying.
There is a mic on the piano that's for the candidates, but they have to pass it up and back, up and down the table. And with a cord, it'll get kind of cumbersome. So we're going to try it without the mic. Everybody speak up. And if somebody can't hear, I guess we'll have to use the mic. So let's start. The first question is, I would like each of the candidates to tell everyone about yourself. For those of you who may have been involved in a job search, it's typically called an elevator speech. You have 1 minute to tell us about yourself. So let's start here with Bill.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I've lived in Hooksett since 1971, and I've been on the town council, and I'm presently on the Conservation Commission. And I've seen a lot of changes and growth in the town, and I'd like to bring everybody's attention to an important piece of information, because everybody here is part of it, and anyone that's on the town council has a lot of power in this town, and I don't believe they're familiar with the power and where the power comes from. It's Article 8 of the New Hampshire Constitution. It's the accountability of magistrates and officers. And when that says all the power residing and originally being derived from the people, so that means that we, as elected town councilors in the town of Hooksett, are government under this Constitution, and we are all our power only comes from the people, and we're always answerable to the people. And that's what I plan to be, and that's what I'm all about. Thank you.
Time, right on the button. Thank you, Bill. Todd.
Hello, good evening. My name is Todd Lazat. I've been a resident since 2006. Been on the budget committee. I coach HYA, baseball and soccer, and I do some volunteering in regards to the school and part of the PTA. In a nutshell, I'm an engineer. I run a division of Hitachi in New Hampshire, but I'm also an inventor, and I know I grow a few plants, so I guess I could call myself a gentleman farmer from New Hampshire. Thank you.
Thank you, Todd. Nancy.
Oh, hello, I'm Nancy Vanscoy. Most of you do already know me. A little background, I am one of 5 children. I grew up, so I'm going to try to remember how I spoke when I was at the table and I wanted food passed. So I've been on the town council now 3 years. I've lived in Hooksett since 1990. So quite a while now, and I love being on the council, and I look forward to continuing to represent my district too. I absolutely love it. I own 4 properties here, and I plan to continue to reside in Hooksett for the rest of my years.
Thanks, Nancy. Bob.
Good evening, everybody. My name is Bob Ehlers, and I'm really glad to be here this evening to have a chance to stand in front of you. I hope everybody can hear me. Okay. I arrived here in 1984. Actually, I was just looking at the other day, November 1st, 1984. I've been involved with Cub Scouts, religious education, bell ringing, and Mary. Some of you all have.
You're all involved in that.
And I have, basically, I work for the state. I'm what you would call a regulator. I regulate health care in the state. Each day I make executive decisions concerning health care. And so I have a lot of experience with rules and regulations and all that stuff that goes along with it. I think it's very important for you to know that I'm usually described as a quiet guy, And what people have been asking me is, they've been asking me if I would run. And so I decided,
Time, Bob.
would run. All right, thank you.
Dan?
Good evening. My name is Jim Levesque. I've been in Hooksett, resident of Hooksett for 34 years. I'm married to my lovely wife, Peggy, and we have 3 grown children. I filled Paul Roizel's spot for 1 year on the council, and I'd like to return for the next 3 years in the council. I've donated my time as a master electrician to the conversion of the new town hall from the village school. The head school helped Kathy with the modifications and wiring at the head school. Wired the library sign out front, and then on the zoning board for 4 years. Then when I changed to go around with the council, and I'm still a council representative to the zoning board. I guess that's it.
Thank you, Jim. Mike?
Good evening, everybody, and thank you to Mary and the library for hosting this event. I've been a citizen of Hooksett since 1998. After I got out of the United States Army, we moved here and started our family. I have 2 small children who are 8 and 5. My wife, Jennifer, is a volunteer at the Underhill School, and I'm involved, like Todd, in HYAA. I'm on the board of directors. I head T-ball, single A, blast ball, so all the kids under 7 are my responsibility. I look at them, and that's why I'm here tonight and why I'm running. It's about the future of the town, and what brings me to this position is the desire to serve not only everybody here, but the future of our town and what that's going to mean for the little ones as they become citizens and become involved. So thank you.
Thank you, Mike. Nancy?
Good evening, everyone. My name is Nancy Comey. I live at 21 Elmer Avenue. My husband and I met. We moved here about 20 years ago. Our children grew up here. We originally moved to Hooksett because of the school system. We had heard such great things about it. We have both been very much involved with HYAA and all the various things in town as your kids start growing with PTA and such. I came to the budget committee about 3 years ago, and George Longfellow and to my right neighbor and to my left was the Morans, Bob and Julie Moran, who have passed since deceased, God rest their soul. They asked me to step up and take over where they left off. So I'm here. I've got a college education. I work at the emergency shelter in town in Manchester, and I'm great with practical application and doing things the cheaper way. So I'm here for you. Thank you.
Thank you, Nancy. Michael?
Good evening. I'm Mike Piscatola. I'm currently your councilman at large. I moved to Hooksett in 1971 from the Bronx. Moved out of Hooksett and been to Manchester in 1973, where I became a police officer in Manchester. Upon my retirement from the police department, I moved back to Hooksett. Hooksett at that time, when I moved back in roughly 2000, taxes were low and everybody was happy and things were going real good in Hooksett. My wife and I moved back. Shortly afterwards, taxes started going up, so I got involved in complaining about my taxes. My neighbors got tired of me talking about it, so I decided to run. I ran for councilman at large and I won. I soon became aware that taxes cannot be controlled, but financial responsibility of the tax dollar can be controlled. So I'm very proud to say, as a councilman at large, along with Nancy and some of the other councilmen right now, we kept our default budget under the default number 2 years in a row. That's all I have to say.
Thank you, Michael. Jim? Forgive me, it's going to take a minute for me to get up, so I'm going to sit here. I'm the old timer from 1967, moved here when I was 2, school, educated in Hooksett, scout in Hooksett. When the council became in effect in 1989, I started serving, attending council meetings 90% of the time. I served on the council, solid waste committee, and various things. I'm currently on the Hooksett School Board, and thank you for the nice comment on the school board. We do it together as a school board. I served on the council in a quieter time during the 90s. I'm on the school board now, Historical Society, and people ask me, do you have time? I do have time. My Wednesdays are free. I will do my homework as I did when I served on the council, as I do on the school board, and I think I provide a unique opportunity of serving on multitude of boards. Right on the button. Thank you, everyone, for staying within the time limit. I think if we do that for the rest of the evening,